So how does a guy find quality friends?
You have 7 alcoholic friends, homeless, you will be the homeless. Don't do anything or don't say anything what can be used against you.
A woman can cut the guy's balls off, especially if she sleeps with somebody in his circle.
Like it's behavior, like she's a dog, like he's controlling her, like where she is, what you are doing. Many guys, they like to control it like that because I don't know, because they're also maybe cheating, coming back from the job trip and you come back, you have a condoms in the bedroom and the hair on your brush.
If I am going to cause a situation where I have to deal with an angry person, that's stressful.
More kids better, because people just giving birth to one kid and they're just like, it started to be the whole sense of the life. It's also not incorrect.
So how does a guy find quality friends?
Depends on what do you mean by saying quality friends, of course. Like the guy?
So in my opinion, a good friend is somebody that cheers for you. Even if you're more successful than them, you're going to be supporting them. So a lot of people think that a quality friend is a very successful person, kind of like a mentor or somebody that you can look up to. So for you, when you think of quality friend, what do you think of?
For me, it's always like, if you want to get successful, like all of the mentors saying, that you need to have or friends that's like the same level as you or more successful even than you. So this is how you get yourself upper. I mean, like how you raise your level. Because like if you have 7 alcoholic friends, homeless, you will be the homeless, the 8. Yes, but on the other hand, it's opposite.
Like, what's some tricks to find quality friends?
I just had this question 2 days ago, like, who is your friend and blah, blah, blah. And I answered just like, I don't keep the friends, very close one, because for me, the closest will be always like my family, my relatives, because all the super dirty secrets will stay inside. And you have less opportunity that it will be outside when you will have an argument with your friend, and he will start to do some things against you.
So you're close to your family?
Yes, kind of. I mean, they will always stay with me.
Yeah, but do you talk to your family?
Yeah, of course.
Who in your family?
My sister, my mother, my father. They know a lot about me, and I don't need to hide, I don't need to pretend, because still all the people, when we are around another people, we put on some masks. And I think this is the good idea, not to show all. Don't do anything or don't say anything what can be used against you.
So your sister supports you pretty well.
I mean,
you share everything with her?
They take me what I am.
Is it older sister or younger?
Younger.
And so are you a role model for her?
A little bit, because not because I'm a role model or something, but just like I have some kind of experience that she don't have yet, maybe, and she can always ask if she needs something, like to ask for my advice or something, but still she's having her own opinion, right? And she don't need like to do whatever I say and so on.
So what is she doing now? Where is she?
She's studying. She's in London. And I advise her to go there to start to learn the language. 19.
19?
Yeah.
And remind me, where are you from in Ukraine?
Crimea.
And so when did she get out of Crimea?
Oh, she was very small. She was very small.
And where did you guys move? Where did she move?
To the central Ukraine.
So she got into school in London, and you guys, are you saying you don't have secrets with her?
No, I don't keep like, I say whatever I do, and I mean, I think it's important not to your family shouldn't support you, but they need to try to understand you. This is like the whole point, I think, for me.
And is it a triangle between your mom and your sister and you?
Triangle.
Like, do you guys, everything is shared?
I mean, depends. Depends. Something like we have something hidden from the other people. Yeah, but I think I know everything.
I'll say something like my dad called me and said, don't share this with my brother, but I'm going to share it with him. My brother wanted to purchase a building and have my dad live in it because my dad has some special situation where I forgot what it's called, but where he can get a loan if he lives in this building. And my dad was like, I don't want to move there. It's not a good neighborhood and stuff. But my dad found a building and my brother found a building. And my brother was like, well, I'm just going to get power of attorney over you. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
So my dad was like, well, what if he gets power of attorney over me? Which is just ridiculous. It's like saying somebody can't decide things for themselves. So I don't know. It's just my brother being an asshole. But like everything that happens, I tell one person in my family goes to the other ones. So
I mean, I'm very for the role of the family empire. Something like, can you understand this? Like, because it's not European, it's not American model anymore, I think. Because like people are separated from each other, even in the family, they are not keeping the contact. But I think it's really important, like your blood gets power for you. And yeah, it's something like esoterical about it, but I think it makes some sense. And just for the friends, if you're back to the question, yes, you just have the people who is like have the same goals as you, and you're going to the same spot by your doings, like for your dreams, and just people supporting each other and powering each other. So this is important. And yeah, of course, how do you find them? Like you working on some projects, and it's like I'm in contact also with my workers, with just common people I know, and we are doing the same things. And if it's different things you do, you have more people around you, and you just making the level higher by reaching your goals.
But if they work for you, it's not like making your level higher. I just to clarify, I know that you need some people higher and some people lower, because people lower are doing like executing the work, and people higher are usually associated with like funding and maybe some mentoring. But that's the question of like, what do you consider quality friends, and for you, and how do you find it? But I'm asking more for my situation, or people in my situation. If you were a guy, how would you find quality friends? If you're a businessman, I don't know if you have.
They have a lot of networking things, but I don't really believe into network stuff, because like you mostly meet people naturally. Like I don't know, when we was just recently in Courchevel, yeah, we was filming some video about the Courchevel, the trip and so on, and we just filming it, and we was out of the club restaurant, and just the owner of some hotel there, he just hit up to us, he started to talk to us. And I mean, like, of course, like a very, very rich guy, and people make contacts naturally, always. And like, if you, of course, for this, you need to go out, you need to be open to people, you need to be talkative. And just the gym, some like barbers and stuff. You just go out. Of course, you have friends. You just have the people you are going out with. Because if you stay at home, this is the biggest stupidity ever you can do. I love to stay at home, but I know this is the side of my personality, and I need to make it better, to go out. And I'm pushing myself to do hair, to do makeup, to make sure I look nice. So this is no way I didn't go out and people don't see it. Like all of the effort I put in me this morning to go out.
Yeah, this is so Ukrainian though. This is the Ukrainian mentality. Because when I moved there, I saw 5 salons on every block. Not every block, but there's at least one salon in every block in the center of every city.
Of course, if you look like a piece of shit and you didn't wash your t-shirt like for a month with your pants, you don't want people to see this terrible situation happening with you.
This goes to a question that I have I all the time. Like, why is Ukrainian culture so different than, and I don't know if it's different than Russian or Belarusian, but it's so different than, like, for example, Polish, right? They're neighbors.
I think it's very different.
Well, I mean, in terms of the number of beauty salons there are.
We have a lot right now.
Here in the center, but what about, Ukrainians care about beauty more. Why?
For me, personally, I don't like when it's like ugly people around me. Like Anna Wintour is the head of the Vogue. She don't have at the Vogue working for the All Vogue magazine UK, I guess. No people with excess weight and ugly people. Ugly is not meaning like you need to be the beauty standard, you need to be super beautiful, but you need to take care of yourself. And people always saying that in Ukraine, people they're so beautiful, but this is not just because of the natural beauty, but just because you are taking care of it. Like you have a fresh nails, like you have a clean hair, which like if we talk about like Central Europe. Sometimes, like, you see people wearing the dirty clothes, the old, like, trashy, with the dirty hair. And, like, I don't think that I need to say that you need to brush your teeth and to wash your hair, because for me, it's like it's basic.
Yeah, but I think the point is that it's like 10 times more concern is put in Ukraine than let's say Central Europe, right?
People still making opinion about you by seeing you.
Yeah.
Even you didn't start to say anything, but they see you and immediately they know if they like you or they are just like,
But impression management, so like you're saying you have a mask when you go out, and that is just so much more at the front, and it's a performance, right?
Dress to impress.
And people, I think a lot of, I don't know if I can say Americans have given up on performance. I don't know what your impression is of foreigners. A lot of them that come here are still trying to perform. So my question is around that. Why do you think Ukrainians have that? Like, what history did it come from? Because there wasn't makeup like 30 years ago, was there? I don't know. Or just started, right?
How can I know?
Yeah. So,
but like if you look at like the guys like from Ukraine, they're always looking good. They have a very nice dress. I mean, they have a nice dress, and they look very nice. They know how to dress. Now, like the younger guys, mostly I see that they're dressing very nicely and they are taking care. I don't know why, because it's just nice when you stay around the beautiful people. For me, it's like I'm an aesthetic person, and when I look at it, it's a pleasurable for me. I like it. I like to be surrounded by the beautiful people. Why not? Why should I stay around the ugly people? I don't want.
Those are things, how do I say this? Like in the US, those are conversations that we don't have openly.
It's not so difficult to have a, like, I don't know, clean, ironed t-shirt, and just even the jogger is okay. But if you use them, I don't know, 10 years, you sleep in them, you have stains from the food.
But that's an extreme case. Like most people wash their clothes every week, and I think
Some people don't wash the hair.
I mean, can you name somebody that we know that doesn't?
But I know, I see it, like even the girls. Sometimes it's happened, and for me, it's just like use a hat, at least.
Like here in the building, anybody? I just don't know.
Me. For example, yeah, it's a dirty secret. Yeah, but if I have like the hair, because I need to wash it every day to look very nice to look. So sometimes I just use that. I have a lot of like fancy baseball caps, and they just use it. They had the baseball cap, and you still look stylish. You still look good, and nobody see that dirty secret on your head.
So when I see you in a baseball hat, I should
Yes.
say, wash your hair. Come on, lazy. Okay. Similar topic, not about beauty, but about money. When I got to Ukraine, I came to understand a little bit about why if you go into somebody's home that's rich, it looked like 19th century Russia, where they had lots of gold chandeliers and just what we call ostentatious, which is a little too much. Like,
we are talking about our ex-president Yanukovych and the
Yeah.
Mezhegiria residence. Have you been there?
yeah, a few
Really?
times. It's really nice.
Do you
yeah.
like?
I mean, it's the perfect Sunday date, isn't it?
Yes.
So you've been there.
Yes.
Do you like it?
It's nice, and like, but now for the first time when it was just opened for the people to come in, I've been there, and I was hearing like people passing by me and like, oh, he's an asshole. How it can be all of it only for one person. It was a lot of like, aggressive thoughts also, but if just to separate yourself from all of this minds, it's a very nice park. Why not? I want the same for me.
Yeah. Well, they have tennis courts, but nobody can play tennis there.
And the golf, yeah.
They have a golf course. I don't
Yes,
remember.
they have.
Oh yeah. People would picnic on the golf course.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the swans.
Yeah. That's a really nice place. And it's great that it's public. But I mean, more, you go in, you see all these palaces that Putin is in.
Oh my God,
You
yes.
see that stuff on a small scale. If you go to a wealthy person's home, you see like smaller houses, but still decorated with gold and marble, and there's a certain style. And I think that younger people don't look at that as like how they would design their home anymore. But we still have, like, in this building, there's some apartments that look like that. And so there's a distinct like wealth, image of wealth in like a Soviet culture. So I think that also flows over to the way that people behave. And so there's some jokes about like, oh, if you're Eastern European, it doesn't matter what he looks like. It matters how much money he has. So what's the cutoff between how much money a guy makes and how he treats you?
You just...
I know. Okay, so to restate the question, give me some examples of a guy's this wealthy, then he can get away with these things. And if he's this wealthy, he can get away with these things.
I still don't understand.
So let's say that he makes $1 million a year.
Year, okay. Not a lot. It's not a lot.
Then what can he, let's say $1 million after taxes. Can he have multiple partners? Like have a wife and have multiple partners?
He can do whatever he wants
Yeah,
with
of course.
his life.
What do you think most women will accept? Like if the guy makes 100,000 euro per year, she's not going to let him have a side woman.
Why we talk with about this with such an angle. Why the woman should let something to do for the man? Why he need to ask her permission? I mean, it's for example, if you take it, yeah, of course, now it's like, it's my partner and so on, but like, on the other hand, I don't want somebody to say what I need to do, how I need to do. If I want something, I just do it. Yeah, and I don't need to. It's like, I was under 18, and I asked my parents what to do. Yes, for example, like my mother always, if you are like, you're not 18 yet, so you do what I say you to do. I just was 18, and she told me, you are not having your own money until I pay for you, you do what I say. So when I started to have my own money and to say, okay, mom, thank you, bye-bye. I don't ask for your opinion. So if the person independent in the life, why this person should ask somebody what to do? Like, you understand me? And for of course, for the guys, it doesn't matter if he has 1 million or 100K. Like, there is different girls who are like trying to say, you do this, and like this. For me, man should be the man. And asking the woman for a permission is little bit...
There's the reason...
I feel it a little bit wrong.
It's not permission. It's the question of what an average guy can get away with. And in that he's providing a certain quality of life. For example, how many trips can you take? What star hotels can you stay at? What kind of car can you buy for her? These questions are different at 100,000 and a million.
But on the other hand, it doesn't matter when it comes about the guys with 100K. He can spend much more on the girl than the guy with 1 million.
Yeah.
It depends on the... I mean, there are some guys who are like very decent, very grateful, and they can spend a lot, and they can provide the best. But like, I had a couple relationships with the guys like rich. Okay, it's not 100K even, and I didn't get anything. Like, I mean, I didn't get anything because the trips, okay, the hotels, he's also staying in the hotels. So he's doing his for him and just taking the girl, okay. But it's not for me. I mean, when he rent the hotel, like, and making a trip, like go on a trip, take your friends, relax. This is he's doing for me. But when like we're both going somewhere, he's doing it for himself. And this is very important to understand also for the girls. So when it comes about the presents and this kind of things, this is the different story.
Let's say you have a Porsche and you have some nice purses and nice clothes and you live in a nice house. What else do you need? Like, there's some level at which in the US, if you make 72,000, you have enough to live comfortably. And there's some level at which you have enough money. Let's say it's like 500,000. If the guy makes 500,000, he has enough money to buy all of that stuff every year. So what else do you need? And that's the question. Like, for a guy, how pretty a girl do you need? And for a girl, how rich a guy do you actually need to really enjoy? And I talk about this with some friends. If a guy wants variety and wants multiple girls, that's typically what the guy wants. Almost every guy I know agrees. And that's the one thing that they would want the girl to accept that they don't accept typically. And what is the compromise? Well, typically guys are just like, well, I want to be honest. There's a lot of anxiety around cheating and all that stuff that makes it very difficult.
If you take cheating as a cheating and something wrong, of course you have an anxiety and stuff like that.
It's not wrong. But it's like if I am going to cause a situation where I have to deal with an angry person, that's stressful.
Because you put yourself in such frame that I need to.
So that's what I'm saying. That if you make an agreement, but still, the biggest emotion is jealousy.
How you can make an agreement?
Okay, explain.
This is the frame you put yourself, that I need to be with only one person forever in my life. I need to spend 24 hours a day. Of course, if she is zero. She only know where is to make her nails and where to buy the next 101st purse. Of course, she will always, like, because she has nothing to do, she will like ask you, where have you been, with whom you been, and blah blah blah. If she is busy with something, like she is doing, even if helping you with your job, like she's working for you, you put her in such a frame where she is taking her place, but not like, I don't know, asking you why. The girls, mostly they're okay. I see from the majority of the girls that they're saying that it's okay, I know he's cheating, I don't care.
Because?
But after, like, I make a drama, I cause a drama, so he buy me next purse, new car, and because the girls, they're using it. Really, they're using it against the guys when they're like, haha, I know who is it, it's my friend. And she knows that I don't know.
Well, you're acting like it doesn't hurt.
Mostly they don't care. Not mostly, okay, some of the girls, they don't care. They're also cheating because if you're staying for a long time with somebody, somehow you need to keep it, like, fresh still. So for me, like, when I hear this, like, one person for a lifetime, for me it's such a stupidity. I don't know. For me, it sounds so fake.
Can you, without naming names, can you talk about when you say that? I'm like, I don't know any girls. No girls are telling me, yeah, I don't really mind if he cheats. I just want, yeah. It's quite the opposite.
I heard of course, because some of the girls, they are jealous, not about, girls are jealous about the emotional side. Like, he's spending maybe more time with her, maybe he's like paying more attention to her, like, I don't know, when it comes about spending time together, right? Like, he's fucking her more than me, maybe like this. Some of the girls, they're very jealous, like, oh, he's spending the money on her, he's buying her presents, taking her on vacations, and I wish it would be me. So this is different positions. Why? But I don't know. If she like the girls also, it will be different. If she know how to enjoy.
How many girls are in that mindset that they like the girls? It's pretty rare.
I don't know why, but it's like the statistics say that a lot of the girls, they kissed each other like when they were like teen. If the girl kissed when they were teenagers, because we're learning how to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I was in the summer camp, I was a teacher for the girls because I watched a lot of YouTube videos how to, and I was learning, and it's okay. I mean, it's mostly it means nothing. Mostly the girls, they like the girls, but not in a very romantic way, because they're not taking another girl serious like men, but just to have fun. Sometimes, yeah, a lot of the girls, they do it when they're drunk.
Yeah.
I had some case like that when just my ex-friend, she came over, we was drinking, and after we was a little bit like, tipsy, and she started to seduce me, and she did it, and this was my first time. I was shocked, but many girls, they have like this, and after she was like,
Wait, so this friend introduced
nothing.
you to the concept
Yes.
of like, oh, you might take a lot of pleasure from another woman.
Of course you can. Why?
Well,
why
usually-
why you should I don't know, put yourself in some frame that, oh, never, I'm hetero, stop it. Like I tried to then I tried to fuck another my girlfriend, and she was like, oh, please fuck off. I don't want, I'm hetero. But if she will get a little bit more drunk, yes, she can, of course.
Be submissive,
and girl, because we are, just our nature, we are bi.
Yeah.
But just because girls they don't want, because they're getting jealous. They're getting jealous that, for example, if we talk about the threesome or something, like, he will pay more attention to her than me, and I will be like excess. I will be like a third hand in this couple. Yeah, it's just they're afraid. That's why they're not trying.
I think I'd agree with you that the girl that introduced you to that, it's pretty rare, but when she introduced you to that, you could introduce.
She was very normal. She was very open sexually. And she's just a healthy person. If she's not shy or something, she's just like, open like that. And I think it's okay. It's normal. It's a normal case.
I think what happens when I think about Americans, like, Americans are pretty open-minded, but when you get into long-term relationships where you have a boyfriend, then you start to protect, especially like the money, the plans that you have. You don't want any threats to that. So that's at the cost of the guy's pleasure. And
you may lose if you start to compete. You understand the statement? Yeah. So if you have your own connection with the person and it's kind of strong, it's very difficult that somebody just one night stand will break something of it, because when we are staying long time with each other, we are certain to
what's long time?
To be, I mean, depends of the connections.
Like
yes, so year. You are do the same job, you are have the same properties, like you have a lot of stuff, like kids, pets, which is keeping you together. So this is, of course, it's so difficult that somebody comes just and.
But this, I agree with you, but I'd say the main thing that keeps people together is family. And the main problem now is that families spread apart. So, for example, I think in Ukraine, families are very close, but now because of the war, everybody's spreading out more and more. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I liked is how families were families. They're my ex's family.
It's okay, but of course, if for a guy, if he marries some girl, she needs to be open-minded, I think. So, because other way, you just put in handcuffs by your own will to each other. You're cuffing yourself to each other, and that's why it's causing some problems after.
But you understand, as a guy, I don't want my woman to be sleeping with other men.
You think she will ask you for permission? I'm joking. I mean, some of the girls, they are afraid. For example, if the man sponsoring the girl, like we are saying about normal relationships.
Is that a normal relationship to sponsor the girl?
I mean, just, of course, okay, living in the apartment and paying some bills. Okay, we are saying, talking about that. And some of the girls, when they don't know how to do anything, they're so afraid.
They need a backup plan.
Yes, and mostly they don't have it, and that's why they're so afraid, to go on a site, because they're losing the main living method. So this is not true because she's, I don't know. For me, it's okay. Like when people are open and
Do you understand
depends.
the guy's perspective? Typically, it's that a woman can cut the guy's balls off, especially if she sleeps with somebody in his circle. Then there's no value to the woman because she's like not really with him. Anybody can access her.
But the guys doing it by them off. They're bringing the scissors to her and say, please. I don't know. They're just they're not really behaving as a man. They're behaving like a pussy.
How?
I don't know, asking for a permission. Can I go out with my friends? I don't know, because I don't have such men around me. For me, it's even difficult to say what they're doing. But
when you think, who are you thinking of when you think they're bringing the scissors to the woman? Because I don't know anybody like that.
For example, when the people, they are busy with their own business, they're minding their own business, they're busy. Like they're thinking about the job, and when they are meeting like their love, their like partner, whatever, they're cutting them off from the world. They're spending the time together. Yeah. And after, when they're separating, they are minding their own business. I'm thinking about my work projects, about what I want, what I need to do, how to lead to these goals myself. And when the people, they're having nothing to do, they're like starting to be overthinking, oh, where is this person? What the person is doing now? And starting to be obsessed. For me, it's like after it's leading to the, where it's like you're in such a position, like a very sad position for me.
It's called love, though. It's called love.
No. Love
infatuation.
Love is beautiful and independent by itself.
It's actually where you have an addiction, the same as a drug addiction, to a person.
But this is giving you endorphins, but this is like the meaning of the ask the permission if I can go out with my friends.
It's not the permission.
Sick.
It's trying to come to an agreement where you won't hurt the person. And so you won't be hurt because you're connected to them. Huh?
I don't care. I mean, I don't know.
If your partner hurts, you hurt.
It's so American.
I think it happens here in Poland too.
I mean, of course, like the guys, they cheat. They don't ask the permission in Ukraine because they know it will cause a lot of drama and blah, blah, blah. But they're just hiding it.
Yeah.
It's also like some way to do, but they're hiding, they do it clean and nicely. And also some women, they cheat clean and nicely. I mean, not that you're coming at home and you have like you're coming back from the job trip and you come back, you have a condoms in the bedroom and the hair on your brush. Of course, it's not nice. It's just, I mean, it's not nice.
How do women cheat in Ukraine?
Everywhere, women cheat very silently.
Yeah, like when do they go to the bathroom? Nobody knows that they went to the bathroom.
Yes, they go and just fix the makeup, touch up, come back, very nice, very clean, and nobody knows. But they don't need
during
to
the
tell
day,
them.
At night, like I think the guy would notice.
She
if she's
can do
gone at night.
the girl. She can do it whatever she wants.
But obviously, there's a thing that usually women don't. They want to know the guy well. So I always
no. If the girl wants, she can go just out. She can take any man. And,
go back to his place. Yeah, but the guy will know usually
if she wants.
If she's not home or she's not doing something. Like usually, the guy knows where she is.
This is also like what? It's the same behavior as she's a dog. Like it's behavior like she's a dog. Like he's controlling her, like where she is, what you are doing. Many guys, they like to control it like that because I don't know, because they're also maybe cheating and they think bad about the another person and they want to control her like that because he is cheating.
What's a healthy relationship then?
If I feel okay to spend the time with you, I'm spending time with you. If I have something to do, I'm doing it. And if I want to see my friend, I'm seeing my friend. It's like normal. If whatever we want, whatever it's good, we are having fun, we enjoy, we like, we have endorphins, we have like hormones. As soon as we feel good together, it's good. It's working. After, when it's like something broken, you cannot fix it. There is no law anymore.
Are your parents married?
Yes.
And they're together?
They're divorced now.
How long?
10 years. Maybe something. Yeah, but for me, it's like they're both like in the another relationships. So it's okay for them. So I'm saying like I have two dads.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like if you depends how you look at the different perspective, because people always ask the question. If, for example, someone is like behaving strangely, they're like, "Oh, are you have a full family or your parents divorced or something like?" Because they try to explain some kind of behavior by the childhood trauma and the stuff like that. But I think for me, it's really bullshit, because like we are not in the past. We are now adults, a lot of time passed, and we are now not the same people as we are there, and we are not thinking about what happened in our childhood and how it caused the trauma. Because I think for me, it's just like, people who love to be trying to complain why they're not successful, why they don't have a
blame.
I think I can still complain that I cannot meet the right girl because my mother was punishing me. I think it's bullshit. Just like you are skip, and we are in present. We are living the life today, and we are affecting, because we are not the kids anymore. We are affecting. We are the only one who are affecting the life today.
The reason it's so, for example, I'm not saying it's right, but if your parents stayed together despite the lack of love in their relationship, maybe they would get to a point where they found another reason to be together, and that would be a different example for you than if they split up. So
some families, they're like unhappy together. They're like it can cause much more trauma.
But I'm just pointing out that there's a relationship between the examples, because you look up to your parents. You said family is important, and you look to your family. They influence you.
It doesn't matter. You can find for yourself another role model, and
you won't know them as well.
To rule. I mean, now today, any kids, they're watching the podcasts, they're watching the YouTubers, and for them, sadly to say, and for them now is the role model, because we don't have the much information around us when we was smaller, especially like me, you, and so on. So now for the kids, it's so easy like to follow. I don't know, I see a lot of, even on the plane lately, I saw the guy watching some motivational podcast. Now children, they're choosing their own heroes to follow. So I don't think it's affects that much as it was before. Before it was some teachers, some, I don't know.
I mean, it probably still is. The people that are in your life on a daily basis are more influential than, podcasts generally. But
some kids 24 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
They're not even having dinner together with the family.
Oh, For me, that was kind of normal not to have dinner. Did you have dinner with your family every day?
No.
No. Did they cook? I'm just curious because I don't know. I don't even know what's normal.
We was pretty busy. Me and my sister was pretty busy with the after-school activities, as the sports, dancing clubs, and so on. We was so busy. We didn't even have any time. I don't know for.
What did you do for dinner most nights?
What do you mean?
When you were a teenager and you're in school, what was dinner like? I mean, picking stuff up from the store. Did your parents make dinner and then you just ate it when you got home?
Yes. Or I do something by myself. If I come back from the workout, I'm like very hungry, of course, and then I go home to eat dinner by myself. I'm warming it up, and then I go to my room to do my homework. It was like this every day. It was routine.
I heard many times over that school in Ukraine wasn't that serious, but that's from a particular person.
School, yeah, I had a upper level school, and it was really good level of the education. But parents, they still wanted to keep busy with the after school things, so we are not starting to do some drugs or something like other kids.
Did you go to a big school?
It was I can tell it was the best school in the city. So, and I was doing my good.
Why do you think Slavic women care more about money?
I think all women care about money.
Yeah, I agree, but it's a higher priority, like as in looks are less important, treatment is less important. Emotions are less important.
I understand, because for example, in US, you have access to the good school, to the good education, to the good environment, I can tell, because like in America it's pretty the same, yes, like the level of living, except the yachts and Gulfstream jets, for example. But in Ukraine, like where is the salary and another country is like so low, the minimal salary is so low, so the women, they just want the better future for the kids. They care about the neighborhood where they will live with the kids and the father, and of course, like, you need money for that.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. It's not like just you spend in US, like for example, the minimal salary, you can live pretty nice, and you have a very developed system of the loans. So mostly people have everything in loan in America.
Yeah.
And in Ukraine, you cannot take a loan because you don't know what will be with the currency rate. Yes, what will be after if the bank will not be bankrupt or something like that. So you just care.
What are the biggest signs of wealth to you? So of course,
to me, or just
you don't
to Ukraine.
You can't see
Young people.
You can't see their car most of the time. You can't see their apartment most of the time, unless you're looking at their Instagram. So you see a guy. How do you know? I mean, do you judge his behavior? But are you looking for a watch? Are you looking for their clothes?
Depends.
If you see a guy walk in the room.
Yes, if I'm seeing him as my partner, or
let's say you find him attractive initially, and then you're so you have the frame of like, okay, this guy's at least attractive. Now you start going down the list of like, okay, how valuable is he?
I don't have a lot of experience with the Ukrainian and the Slavic men, but the guys, they're just like dressing up nicely.
What is nice? Because
you can see the loafers. No, you can see the loafers, Loro Piana, some nice t-shirts fitted, the pants. You can see the Rolex, Audemars Piguet. You can see the bag. You can see the car, because mostly you can't see the car, because like you are driving, he's picking up you or something like that. So yeah, of course, the place where you go, if you go on a date, you can understand, yes. And mostly the guys in Ukraine, they start just to treat a girl like to bring her flowers to the first date is normal. It's just sign of just nice to see you, appreciation. Like I told you, if you go to visit somebody invites you over, you bring some gift.
So
it's in the culture. It's normal. It doesn't mean that you own something now and you need to give something back. It's just like for me, it's like my love language. And mostly of the Slavic girls is like gifting, of course. And like we love to give gifts. We love to take gifts. For I think it's nice. Everybody loves gifts. Just if you bring, just the flowers is something, just a small gesture.
So I went on a date with a Ukrainian girl and I gave her flowers. It was, for me, it was awkward that, okay, here's some flowers. I'm just meeting you. And then she has to go back up to her apartment to put them away. Because
no, they don't need to. For example, you pick up her, you bring the flowers.
Yeah.
It's not about to keep these flowers for years. So the flowers, they need to survive, and I give you once, you will not see it anymore, never in your life. For me, it's just small gesture, just bring it. Okay, you go after to the restaurant and they bring you the vase. It's normal.
They bring you a vase in the restaurant. I've never seen.
Yes, of course.
Never seen anybody bring flowers into a restaurant.
Because nobody brings it. We are living in Europe. Yeah. But when I was at the dates here, I had. And I was saying that, which flowers will you bring for me?
Okay, so what are the best flowers? What are the worst flowers? Roses, white roses, red roses?
It doesn't matter because like it's just a gesture. For me, it's just a gesture.
Gesture. What's the what? It has to be that white roses are better than.
It doesn't matter. It's if the girls start to care about which flowers is that. It doesn't matter. I don't care about flowers. It's just like you're showing appreciation to the person. I'm happy to see you. Nice to meet you. That's it.
So if I pick some flowers out of the.
There'll be different kind of appreciation. At least you put some effort in this meeting. It's not just like. Okay, if we're talking about the pickup, the guys, it's completely different thing. Because if you're meeting like 100 girls in 2 months, of course, your net worth will go from this point to this point because like you're spending all your money on the flowers. It's not correct. It's not economically correct for the guys like that. But if you like some girl, like you really like her, it's not if you think she's valuable, she's like, I can tell worth it, like you do this because like it's not a problem. It's not very difficult. It shows that you was thinking about her before the date and you just cared about the small thing to show appreciation. It's normal.
So 12, let's say 12 roses versus 6.
Once I told the guy, if you call me on a date, I'm expecting to see you with the flowers, and he brought me 1 rose.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but like, You
don't care that much.
1 is just like.
So 6. That's why I said 6.
It's okay, just a small something. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
But 1 is like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could hardly care less.
It's just like on the another hand, with this gesture, you're showing just like, okay, you want it, take.
Yeah.
Like 5 zloty, this is your worth. 1 rose.
Minimal. Yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
This is kind of, it's a bit better, don't bring anything to say, oh, I forget. Because I had like this, the guy, he didn't bring, and I told like, where is it? And he was like, oh, he didn't bring because he was not sure, because we met online. He was not sure if he wants to, for example, maybe I'm using Photoshop too much and he will be not surprised,
disappointed
nicely.
Yeah.
And after, I want to go with you, so to choose what you like, because I was not really sure. And he did like this, but I understood why. Of course, it was the purpose. He did it on purpose, but after he brought it.
Yeah.
So it's it's nice.
The roses things,
It just mean that person cares about you. It's not the flowers is not a goal. It's just the small gesture to show that you care about the person, that you what to bring, the small thing, what to bring, what the person will like, and like you were thinking about it. The girls can also do this, because I know some girls, they're doing this. For example, for the friends, if she like appreciate the friendship, she brings something small, like especially for the guy, and it makes you different, not like the others. It's not that only the guys should do this, the girls also can do this, and this is showing your nice attitude.
So at some point, when I learned that and I was dating my ex, she said, bringing flowers every week, not on a schedule, but regularly, it started to mean less. So when you're in a longer relationship, how do you feel about like receiving flowers if it's regular and
Then I start to take diamonds. It's funny, but of course, I mean, it's something more like we are scaling up,
Yeah. And then what happens after diamonds?
After, it's mean that like you are staying with the person if you're sure in this person. Yes, like the person is loyal, and of course the guys, they're not giving like some super expensive things just to strangers, and this is stupid to expect something like that from the just guys you barely know. Yes, but like to showing, then it's like, because they're promoting diamonds as something like forever worthful, and just it stays forever, and just showing that you are serious about the person and so on, for me.
Do you know why?
So this is not just a hookup, and some guys, they don't do this, and the girls, they're not sure about the guys. They're looking for the side option, because they don't know if like the guy is really staying with them or he's not serious. But with things like that, girls, of course, they understand that this is like something meaningful.
One thing in my relationship, at some point, there's nothing else you can get the person that's meaningful. Have you been at that point where?
Of course, the most important is emotions and everything. But I'm saying, for example, let's talk about the person we know both. From the person, there's a lot of guys like that, and the guy is super rich, like he's on the upper level. He's upper than the average, and the girls, they just staying with him, but he is dressing head to toe the brands, and the girl, he's taking her out to the nice restaurant, to the nice hotel trips, as you said, but she is dressing full Bershka. No offense.
I don't know what that means.
Bershka, okay, Zara. Let's say Zara.
Yeah.
It looks strange when they're together, right? And it's not saying the good about the guy, because I don't know, I pay attention to this. When they're at the same level, it's one point. it's one thing, but when it feels like he's just here not serious about her, and he actually is not serious about her, because this guy, he's changing the girls like that, like the socks. You can tell that it's not saying in a good way, because the woman is always the sign of the success of the guy, mostly. So that's why we see these girls with with the nice cars and nice dresses, because when he's out with her, people pay attention to it. For example, like if some of the business partners see it, or someone, like, they know that he's serious, something, it has sense. But for the other girls, for example, we had a conversation with our neighbor, and she was like, oh, this guy is nice because, he has a girl, he's taking her on the nice luxuries vacations, he's giving to her like the branded stuff. And this is how they know the guy is serious, the guy is loyal. But on the other hand, they see that someone is like narcissist, and they don't really care. It's like, today it's you, tomorrow it's another one. So what is the point to invest in you? And
true.
The smarter girls, they pay attention to that.
And
it's also very important, because they are trying to find out about your ex. If, for example, you divorced with your ex and you have kids with her, and you leave her with the zero, and she needs to survive, the smart girl will not go for you. You understand?
yeah.
Depends on the same level. I'm not saying that it's like they need to be on the same level. If you want like somebody like to show in also your status, you need to give at least the same. If she's not having her own money, you need to give her at least
the same level that you give to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest problem personally is that if I'm fighting with somebody a lot, I don't want to invest in them because I'm not sure if there's a future, and therefore I'm literally not buying stuff for them because I don't know if we're going to be together in 2 weeks. And that's a deadly cycle where they don't see the point to behaving better.
If you want somebody to stay for longer, this is how you're buying loyalty. It's not nice, just this word. I know the people, they don't like to use this word buying, but still it's like that. For example, I'm going to the same restaurant, I like the restaurant and I like the treatment, and I want to be the good level of treatment for me, so I always leave in tips.
Okay, so if guys can buy, so women look for wealth and guys can use that wealth to buy loyalty, how do women buy loyalty? Men are looking for the looks,
with the attitude, with the behavior, to showing that she is supporting him, she is with him.
What does that look like?
She's staying at his point of the view. Even if she don't think like that, but on public she still support his point of the view.
So basically, how much she's fighting with him.
Yes, for how she's standing for him.
That's how she buys loyalty.
For example, to not saying the bullshits behind his back, to say anything about him with the friends, like not talking about like some private life, like, to keep it still secretly. So something like, so he know that something's, even if they are broke up, because of the good behavior and good like loyalty gestures before, he knows that she will stay decent even if they broke up, and she's keeping his secret. For example, like you're asking about Ukraine, the guy is doing not very clear things like jobs and so on, like the properties, they're putting the properties on the
Other people's
girlfriend,
name,
for
yeah.
the exes, for the kids, and they are sure that these people, even if they broke up, will stay with him. And the woman, they know this, so that's why they're very loyal. They're never talking about anything with just stranger people and so on. And this is kind of different thing, but still, like, to know how to hold the face on public with even with friends, because today is a friend and tomorrow you don't know.
Yeah, so this goes back to in Ukraine, families are very tight, very, very close. And I think now I'm understanding from this conversation that one of the reasons is that there's a lot of vulnerability and that people do things that are illegal.
It's just example pops out in my head. That's why, like, it's also, for example, it's also if you know something about his business, and if he's doing something not very clear, you just keep it. And it comes, when we talk about this, it's about everything. Like, she keeps private.
Yeah, well, if you're doing something illegal, that's really important.
It's just example, Chris.
I know, but I think when I think back to people that I know, that was definitely the case. There's all sorts of bending the law or breaking the law.
On the other hand, if she broke this loyalty, bye. She knows it, and that's why she's also loyal, for example.
And that reminds me that the thing about children, my ex was very afraid that I would, because a lot of Turkish people come over to Ukraine, have a child, and then take the child back to Turkey without, either just paying the courts or something like that, without the permission of the mother. So, my ex knew people that had lost their child to the Turkish family.
This is a little bit, this topic, but when it comes about this topic, people are a little bit overthinking. When they start in divorce, about the kids and stuff, I don't know. I think this is just people have nothing to worry more important in their lives. Like, okay, take it. If you want, take it. What is the problem?
Take your child.
What is the problem? You can have another one. It's still your kid.
Yeah.
It's still your kids, of course. Okay, if he wants to grow it up, if the woman wants, okay. You still, if you're a normal person, you're still, like, in the good relationships. It doesn't matter if you hire the nanny or he is hiring the nanny. Like, you still can meet with the child and you can have 10 another one child. More kids better, because people just giving birth to one kid and they're just like, it started to be the whole sense of the life. It's also not incorrect.
Not correct, yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you think your opinion might change if you had kids?
I don't know. I will have as more as I can.
At what age? Like, when are you going to have kids?
Whatever.
Whenever.
The God
Whatever.
give me the kids. It's not so important. Like, there is some cases, like, people are also, like, too serious about the child. Like, oh, I need to be ready for the, like, this is like the of minus I don't know what's the name in English. So the population is getting less. Like in Germany, for example, when you go out on the streets, it's only old people, because the Germans are overthinking about their, I need to be responsible, I need to have some certain amount of money. But the kids, it don't need really a lot of money, it just needs love. So whatever person gives the love to the kids, it's enough. So yeah, that's why we are less now Europeans and Americans. I'm happy that in Slavic countries it's okay, still okay.
that goes back to like at some point women started working, and therefore they weren't in the home,
time.
and they don't have the time to spend with children without giving up work.
You can hire a nanny. You can call up your
It's very expensive.
mother, your father.
Yeah.
You just send in the kid to boarding school.
I don't think we have boarding school in the US.
I mean, like they can send in Switzerland or something. Of course, it's
it's a little expensive.
it's very expensive, but there is some schools like closed school. I know in Colombia, for example, they have a lot of schools like closed like that, only for the girls or only for the boys. Yes, and still, it's as soon as just more kids better. If you duplicate yourself, it's nice. If you have a more duplicates of you living. It's okay.
Well, the fact is that people have more work and less kids. It's a simple equation. So I agree with you. I mean, there's what's called demographic decline.
Problem.
Yeah, and the less people there are, young people are, the more like there's less options, and therefore there's more people are more critical.
People too much serious about having a kid, really. More kids better. From the beautiful people, it needs to be more kids.
Yeah, this is something that we talked about before, which is really interesting, which I'm trying to remember. I told you that I heard at some point on the coast of Ukraine that they wiped out all of the aristocratic men, and that the aristocratic women were given to the lower and middle class. And so there's a lot of beautiful women there. And you told me some other story, like there's a different version of that. Mm-hmm. But the reason why there's so many beautiful Ukrainians is because the aristocracy was decimated, so that the most beautiful women went to average people, and then there's a lot more beautiful people.
So it's mean, like for the guys, you buy a ticket to Brazil, you're having one kid there. You buying a ticket to Ukraine, you have one kid there. More better, and
no, but
if you mix your blood, it's like only beautiful kids comes out.
You mentioned though, like some other, I can't remember the story that you mentioned though. When I said about this thing where the reason why Ukraine has more beautiful women is because of this historical.
The Catholic Church, they was thinking that all of the beautiful women, they are beautiful, and where we have a lot of Catholicism, like Germany, Austria, France, I don't know, Spain, some other countries, and they was thinking they're the witches, the beautiful women, and they kill them. They fire up them.
Like they burn
and
them.
It's only the beautiful, and it's only ugly women left.
So you were saying in like Central and Western Europe, they did that.
And we didn't have, because we was Protestant, or we had this, I don't know how is another name.
Protestant or
Protestant. It was
Christian, Catholic.
No, before we believed in the gods of nature.
Oh, so
in Slavic countries we had the gods of wind, the gods of forest, and people believed it was like a different
paganism.
I don't know what's the name of it.
Yeah, but so different religions. There's something I haven't talked to you about, which is Ukrainian people. There's specific things about them that make them more beautiful. So, for example, you have a curved nose, right? Is that your real nose? Oh, okay. So
this one is real.
The arch in it.
The arch is real.
Yeah. So there's an arch, and then you have skinnier, the round face, the very feminine features, which make the women of Ukraine more beautiful. And
because we were mixed a lot. Our country, but if you look at historical, we had a lot of people coming from the outside trying to take the land. The Asians, this and that, and we are very mixed. The sea the Black Sea. We had a lot of like Crimea. It was some part of Crimea, and the land around it was the ancient Greece. After it was the Turkish territories. So we had a lot of movements on the land. That's why they are very mixed. Like some American and Filipino, some, I don't know, some Brazilian and some Ukrainian, some like Spanish and some Nordic countries. Like there is such a beautiful mixes, and is if the mix is more like it's more various, like the more beautiful kids come out.
Do you know that the most beautiful Brazilians came from, well, a lot of the models came from one area of southern Brazil where the Germans mixed with the Brazilians.
Yes. For me, just Brazilian people, they're so beautiful by itself. They have a very good genetics. I don't know why, but they're like I like this Brazilian mixes. Colombian is so good.
I don't know any Colombian models.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And that here in Poland, right?
Just Colombian, just the people that have something like this Latino thing in the blood. It's amazing.